that was the thing that kind of made me want to be part of it.
The first time I went into the prison was actually during my interview process. I came up and I met with Ken and Melanie and went through the interview, and then it was to actually go in, and they wanted to see how I responded in a prison environment. And so I went into OSCI and toured the print shop. And the biggest thing for me walking through was the clanging of the doors and the shutting of the doors when you walked through. That was a moment, but it was still just people. It took a second when I'm walking through thinking, okay, why everybody is here, but then getting into the shop and meeting the AICs and meeting the people who run the programs, it was like any other working environment I had walked into. It was different when you crossed the line to walk into our programs.
My name is Ken Jeske. I'm the administrator for Oregon Corrections Enterprises. I have been in the corrections business for over 26 years, and I've been in this position for the last 7 years. It'll take me a minute to warm up.
No worries.
So this individual made this guitar, and it was his passion. His passion was music. His passion is bass guitar. And he wanted to share that passion and build a guitar. He's wanted to build a guitar forever. So when I saw the guitar, I reached back to the staff and to the AICs in the institution and said, just join their passion. Their passion was, hey, we could make guitars. And so being in my position, I want to give them that opportunity, right?
People ask, what's your favorite instrument in here? And it's like, well, I don't really have one, but on every wall, there's at least one favorite on every wall. So I figured that's probably the best way to do it. I started with Uptown music in 1998, so 23 years ago, and just fell in love with it and been helping people explore music, experience music, get the stuff that made the hair stand up on their arms, and just really thoroughly enjoy it. You know, the music part of it, not to get weird, but I mean, music's good for your soul, and it doesn't matter what form that may take, but everybody somewhere somehow has listened to music or that song that takes you wherever. Well, with new instruments and with the story behind it, you can be part of that new story, is what I think. And I think that's part of what can be really cool for us, helping with this brand, if you will, is knowing that, hey, the general community is helping back the line and helping forward. So we have a program called Play Music Forward here, where people donate instruments and we'll fix them up and then pass them on to prisons, churches, schools, whatever the need may be. And these guys have taken this up to expert level by having these guys use their passion for music and their passion for creating works of art and being able to share that with people that they may never meet.
Never in the history has there ever been a product that was developed by an AIC for the prison population and for the public. I would like to see myself someday be considered among some of the great designers and builders.
Well, Dave is driven. I mean, it's to the point where, I have to kind of get him to slow down because he gets going on this and he just can't, it's just obsessed with it. And that can be very positive or very problematic if we live in an environment where things happen at a certain pace, and that's just the way it is.
So my history with the Prison Blues Guitar Project, I was actually working at OCE's administration office. The manager at that time was working with Peel, and he had an idea to build a guitar for his project. And it was a bass guitar, so it would be the first one that was built at the prison. And I remember that guitar coming out of the program, pretty cool looking. I didn't know that anybody could build one of those inside of a prison and with very, very minimal tools.
I believed I could do it. Wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. It's like a lot of things. It looks good on paper, but you don't know how it's going to work. And I was quite pleased with the way it turned out. And there is a company today that's using a similar bracing design that I used in 2015.
He showed me a picture of the inside of it where he had the bracing, which is very important to how the top moves, where he had an idea of making the main bracing in the shape of a V. And nowadays, some of the major manufacturers are now using what they call that V-style bracing because they discovered the way that it can make the tops move a little better. Still, nobody's really making an acoustic bass with V-bracing. There is not, to my knowledge, a manufacturer out there doing that right now.
When I first met Dave and the exposure to the guitar program, I kind of came in right in the middle of it. They had already started production, they had refined the guitar that they were looking to move forward with, and then it was like, okay, we want to get this out to everybody. How do we do it?
Really, I don't know much about musical instruments at all. I'm not a musician. I don't play any instruments, but just noticing when the guitar was being manufactured, there had to be steaming involved and some different technical aspects of working with the wood to make it bend and shape the way you need it to look like a guitar. And so once you get it to do that, sometimes it doesn't necessarily hold that shape. There's different methods that you can use, different fasteners, different glues, to make the product in the end make it look like what you want. But it's very tough getting there without specialized tools, guitar making tools or luthier tools to make that happen. And so there was, hearing from Dave Peel, there was a lot of focus on trying to make that right and trying to do it, in an environment where you don't necessarily have every tool at your disposal.
We are just at the infancy of this program. I mean, it has so much potential, but yet it's one of those type of things where something could happen and it could just go away.
My first project in woodshop was to build. The teacher asked me, "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to build an electric guitar." Okay. And he was kind of reluctant, but all right. And I rebodied that first electric guitar I had, and that was the start of it. Then I kind of wished and wanted for years, and things kind of went by the wayside, and drug addiction became a part of my life, and I ended up committing a crime and coming to prison. 24 years later, I had the opportunity to build a guitar. Something that I'm grateful for, I'm proud of. It's received a whole lot more acknowledgement than I had expected.
In my definition of a luthier or a true luthier, and you'll hear so many different stories, but it's somebody who takes nothing, this chunk of wood, and turns it into a musical instrument that can be played and enjoyed and make music.
Dave started a program that I'm hoping will inspire others, right? That gives them a purpose to come to work, to build the furniture that they can be proud of, we build furniture for schools, that these folks, their family is sitting at during the day, and it gives them a sense of pride. I helped build that furniture. It gives them a sense of pride, right? They can connect that with their family. The guitar is one step further, right? It's a hobby, it's a passion. If your passion is music, no desk or no chair is going to speak to you like creating a guitar.
The guitar program is just one of those possibilities, and it's not something that just anybody can do. It's a very creative outlet.
This is not based in fact, just my own experience, but kind of what I've seen over the years with people who do get into building or making. First it's music or something with music, it's separate. And something with woodworking or art or something, artsy. And those two don't necessarily go together yet. And as time goes by, I think those two worlds tend to hit for each other.
Within OCE, the programs are voluntary. They're not forced to come and work here. They're not assigned to work for OCE.
It's not wood that we just go and buy and build. This is wood that is reclaimed, repurposed, and it has a story to it.
The bass I'm holding here right now, all the material you see here was going to be thrown away as scrap, as well as the guitar that's behind me.
When they go out of here, they have an opportunity to be successful, and it's up to them. The world, an open book for them at that point.
The hope is that it continues long after AIC Peel leaves. Peel has a lot of knowledge that he's passing on right now to another AIC Fulmer, who will probably end up leading the program with other people that he's bringing up with his skills.
I have people coming to me for help, for direction. Where 30 years ago, I didn't have much direction in my life. I was trying to get in the military, try to get a different start. And it led to some very poor choices. I was granted the opportunity to have a second chance. I'm serving my robbery charge right now. 2 years, I'll be going home and starting a new life.
It's pretty cool when both worlds can come together. But that I think takes a special person, honestly, to when those two things come together. And you're going to get told no a lot, or I don't like that, and I don't like this, and you need to do it this way. And you've got to just kind of hold true to yourself, and if you have an idea, just kind of keep pursuing it.